Hello. So what I'd like to do today is to do a 4-year update on my One Spot Foxface here. So my Foxface has been a fun addition to the tank, and he continues to add color, and obviously he's the biggest guy in the tank that I have right now. And, as mentioned in earlier videos, the Foxface was really crucial in balancing out the tank after I had a really aggressive yellow Tang. So for people who've had bad experiences with yellow Tang, I'd highly recommend one of these as a replacement. So generally speaking, he's pretty mellow. About the only little bit of aggression I've seen out of him was when I added my pencil wrasse to the tank. He gave him a little bit of a hard time when for the first few days when he came in. But to be fair, I hadn't added a fish to my tank in about 2 years. So it was a case where he was definitely a new guy and being put in with fish that had been really well established. So anyways, he goes around. He has made sure that my tank is free of bubble algae. I do have a bit in my sump, but anytime it ever starts to spread to the display tank, as soon as he sees it, it's gone. So, they are a common solution for that. So if you're looking at bubble algae in a tank that's decent sized, I really would not recommend these guys for a tank of less than about 75 gallons. And even then, I would still stick to this One Spot variety because they stay just a little bit smaller. So, but anyways, yeah, if you've got bubble algae in a tank that's about 75 gallons or larger, I would consider looking at a Foxface. Now, as far as coral nipping goes, I do not have any problems with him and my current corals. He did nip a little bit at some acans I had, but my Coral Beauty was also having issues with them. So I just went ahead and got rid of the acans. And then what I did actually was I effectively traded my acans for blastos, and that seems to fix the issue because neither one of them cares for blastos. So I've got 4 of them in here, 4 little frags there, and actually this one's kind of gone to a small colony, but no issues with the Foxface or any of my other fish and these corals. So, yeah, it's one of those things where there is a little bit of a risk with certain types of corals with Foxfaces, but if you keep them well fed, make sure you give them plenty of seaweed, nori as well, they will, generally speaking, leave most types of corals alone. So you may just have to sit there and kind of determine, what works best for you, and whether or not it would be a good fit for your tank. But I would say in most cases, I would recommend a Foxface. Been a lot happier with my Foxface than I have been with the yellow Tang that I tried. So the other thing to keep in mind is that Foxfaces, they do have venomous spines, but generally speaking, they are used strictly as a defensive measure. They're not overly aggressive with them. They just use them for defense. So I haven't had any issues with that. And there have been some times where, he's come up and I've gone and cut the seaweed loose from the clip there, and he's generally really well behaved about that. He waits for me to kind of cut it loose for him, and then he goes and does that. So about the only way I can see that you're really going to get stung by one of these guys is if you intentionally start trying to grab rock work out without paying attention to where you're putting your hands and you accidentally grab one. That's about the only way I can see that you're really going to get stung by one of these. So yeah, if you're looking for a guy to just kind of balance out your tank, generally good with corals and more mellow disposition than other fish, then I would recommend a Foxface. They can be a little bit of a spaz. He's splashed me in the face a few times when I've gone and fed because he's just gone up to the surface and then done a quick about turn, which ends up me wearing water in my face. So anyways, they can be a little bit quirky in that respect, and sometimes they just get spooked. So yes, I do definitely recommend that you have some type of cover over your tank. Of course, honestly, I recommend that for all fish because, in my opinion, there's no such thing as jumpers or non-jumpers. There's only more prone and less prone. So, but yeah, if a foxface gets spooked, they could potentially jump. I would say that would be almost a guarantee. So I would definitely get some form of cover over your tank if you're going to have a foxface. Or really, as I said, I would do it for pretty much any fish. So anyway, that's really all I've got on this update, and thanks for watching.